All right, hello everyone. It's me, Andreas Diaz. I'm the host of the Marvel Plus Talk. Me and Will are back today to do the What If series, episode 2, titled "What If T'Challa Became a Star-Lord." So, Will, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm actually doing good, and I think one of the best things about today is the second episode. And I will say, I think this was a major improvement from the first episode. I think this was what a what if episode should be. And I think it delivered on that. What do you think?
Okay. I'm. I think it was better than the previous episode, but I still didn't really enjoy it personally.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm intrigued. Okay. Um, I mean, I'm curious to see your thoughts about why, but
Mhm.
I mean, I can understand. I guess we could kind of get into like I think the most obvious thing that I think I'm seeing from people that I do agree with is the pace. I feel like they need to slow down with their pace.
Yeah. I think that's over the two episodes. That's consistently been a problem. Uh,
Mhm.
they seem to want to tell a much bigger story than can fit in the 30-minute time span.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, Will. I have a question. You and I,
Mhm.
like, we've been watching cartoons for, when, we were growing up, we watched cartoons and they always, like, around this, like, time, like, minutes, like 21 or like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, you think that's the major problem with them is just that they're cramming so much stuff in this episode? Like,
Well, it's it's not necessarily that they like have too much stuff to fit in the 20 or 30 minutes. It's that it doesn't seem like they know like which scenes to let breathe and which scenes to like kind of speed through,
mhm,
you know?
I agree. Um, and then also, like, it's kind of interesting. Then you also have this thing. Also, they're like re like they're kind of like re-textualizing some of the films, and try to like make this new version in a short amount of time, right?
Right.
And I feel like that was a major problem. I think in the first episode, where here I liked them more because they deviated from the first Guardians and make it into his own thing, right?
Right. Right. It didn't feel like they were trying to recreate a movie beat by beat. They were telling a new
Yeah,
story.
yeah, and that's the thing that I like about um, this episode. And also, I think another thing I guess like I think I haven't paid attention too much about the series as much as the other shows, but I have a feeling they're building up to something like a story arc in What If, like because I know you haven't seen too many trailers of the series,
Mhm.
but there's one particular shot that is with Gomorrah, Killmonger, and T'Challa Star Lord, and it looks like a new like a different version of the first Avengers. I have a feeling they're building up to that. Like
Okay.
we're like doing this one like this phase one of building this new Avengers, but with just swapping the main like characters, you know.
Yeah, just like a multiverse version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um
Okay.
yeah, and I think because like we got the cliffhanger for Peter Quill and Eagle,
Mhm.
which we'll discuss towards the end. But I guess I do want to address also like another big thing that I like about this was um, uh, Chadwick Boseman. I think it's honestly we have to mention him. Unfortunately he passed away last year,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
was so sad. It was a huge shock for all of us,
Yeah.
and he still still um, the king of Wakanda still. Like he's
Mhm.
still the Black Panther, and I think this was one of my favorite episodes because just seeing how What If T'Challa is Star-Lord, and I love right away, like he is the most respected and well-known like hero in the galaxy, and I just it's just amazing and so positive. That's the thing I like about this.
Mhm. Yeah, and it was nice to have some more time with Chadwick,
Mm.
especially in this role. So
Well, and I don't want to like interrupt right now, but he's going to be back again for 4 more episodes, so
okay.
so we can see him,
We'll
pop
have more
up here.
time.
Yeah. So which is good. It's a good feeling. Can maybe see more of him before the final thing.
Mm.
But this was like the final time we see him in a central role, and
Mhm.
and I think this was the best like just representation of him, who he was in real life.
Yeah.
And I love the opening. What was it? The Kree soldier. I forgot his name. Was it
Korath.
correct? Yeah. When you thought, like, I thought initially it was going to be like what the first Guardians, like you say who, and
Mhm.
then he say, "Oh my God, the the Star Lord. You're Star Lord." He was getting so excited, and like I cannot believe the 180 degree of that, and that made me feel confident and like relaxed. I was like, "Oh, okay, they're doing something different," and like it was pretty impressive, and and that was where I was like already hooked from this episode. I don't know if that scene gave you like the hook that it did for me.
No,
Just no.
but no. It was like a fun subversion of the original scene. It just felt
Okay.
weird to see Korath like fanboying over T'Challa.
Mm.
I part of the problem that I've had with both these episodes is how like inconsistent characterizations are with the
Yeah.
movies, because like
Uh-huh.
supposedly the show is about like one thing changes and then it's like the repercussions of that.
Right.
um
Um,
and I don't see how like
I it's weird.
T'Challa being taken instead of Peter would make Korath a completely different personality, but
Yeah.
or
I
like Thanos or Nebula or any of that. Like it's I guess I'm just like I want something different from the
mhm.
show than what it actually is.
Yeah.
But I don't
I
know. I haven't been enjoying.
oh my God. Well, okay. Well, I agree. I that part I will say it's kind of far fetched. I think I think the thing that was I feel like this episode was kind of interesting to see like thematically and like effects could happen like if this person was this like version, and just seeing T'Challa like affecting the universe and the galaxy in a positive way is very interesting in a sci-fi way.
Yeah, I
And
really liked the like insights that we got into T'Challa's character,
yes,
because we saw a little bit of his character in Civil War and Black Panther, but I really would have liked to have been able to like delve more into it. Unfortunately,
or
with
not that.
Chadwick's passing, we won't
Yeah,
be able to. But this was a good like. It really showed just like how like good a person T'Challa is,
mhm.
and how like impactful that like strength of character can be.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree, and that's the thing I like about that. And
yeah,
I
like I said I didn't like that the characters felt inconsistent, but I thought T'Challa himself was very
yeah,
consistent, and I liked seeing that.
yeah, I guess it's kind of tough, and I guess um I guess I liked it because I like how it was like very subversion of it. Like it subverted my expectation that like Korath is gonna get much of the attention. And another reason I guess I'm going like way into deep with this because I know this. The actor that's playing him,
Yeah, Jaimin also.
yeah, he voiced Black Panther, and um uh, for like a one shot comic for MTV.
Oh,
Uh,
I've seen that.
yes,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
he voiced him there. So
Yeah.
I wonder if this was just a little nod or just kind of cool to see seeing both Black Panthers in one scene. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious if that they did that intention because he was like another actor. Yeah.
Could be. I know when they cast him in Guardians, I remember reading an interview with him. And he said he agreed to do a superhero movie because um, he had a son and he really wanted his son to see someone that looked like him reflected on screen. And that's why in the movie, despite being a Kree, he still has his black skin instead of the like blue Kree skin.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I liked that he was able to in this be a hero alongside Black Panther, who um,
It's
was able to similarly give kids someone to like look at and see themselves
yeah.
portrayed on screen. So
Yeah. So I feel like that's the reason we kind of got that and just show like the importance of Black Panther, I feel like. And so that's why I don't really have that problem with that. And also like and to add like my reason I like it is because we don't know too much about Korv from the movies either.
mhm,
So I like that we did something kind of unique about him
mhm.
because I have to be frank. I mean I like Korv. I mean Korv has a very interesting look in the movies, but like he's just a very bland henchman. He's just like
Yeah, I really like Jaimin Hanso
mhm,
from like other things that I've seen him in.
yeah,
And I always thought he was kind of underused in the MCU. So even if I don't like necessarily like the decision to make his character completely different in this, I
mhm,
just am happy to see more of him.
yeah. Man, that guy is in every super movie. Like he's in Shazam and he's coming back for the sequel and trying to figure out. Yeah, he's great. He's great in Blood Thing. I love that.
Mhm.
It's really amazing. But I guess to kind of get past for that scene, it was I think another reason I like this was the interaction of Yondu. I really like Yondu here, and I
Mhm.
think he's the most consistent character here. And it's kind of interesting to see his interaction of you know um uh oh my God, T'Challa,
Mhm. Yeah.
and because side note, I love Nebula's nickname for him, Cha Cha. I
Yep. Mhm.
Oh my God,
Yeah, I liked their chemistry. I like
yeah,
Nebula's look in this. I thought that was cool.
yeah. Just like we'll get to like Yandu him talking and then going to the space bar with the Ravagers.
Mhm.
That was where I was like, okay, we're doing something. This is going in a different direction. And getting into the another character, Nebula, I agree with you. Nebula is amazing in this episode. Karen Gillan is amazing as always. I really love that they went with a different design for her character,
Mhm.
and she looks great. And I want to get into this conversation. Well, what you thought about the animation this time around? Do you like it now or like hesitant still?
Still not like sold on it completely. I do think our prediction from uh, last week that the less grounded episodes would look better in the animation style was
Mhm.
correct. It was less jarring in this one, but
Okay.
it's still not like completely sold on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. But I think there were still beautiful shots from this episode that I like more than the first episode.
Yeah, I really like the shots of the collector's collection.
Yes,
That was cool.
it was very impressive, and I like when Nebula effect one of was it Carvax or one of the Black Hand members with the that like MacGuffin that they need to get that heals one of these planets onto him, and like it grows in plants. I love when we got out of nowhere, we see this more planty kind of head of nowhere. I really like that scene.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shot. Just seeing nowhere looking more like alive and like look very nature. Like I really like that scene. And I just like just in general the aesthetic of the cosmic universe in this animation. It really gave that kind of pop, like 1950s kind of retro look. I feel like, and that you kind of go to like a restaurant, like like in the Disney World.
Yeah.
And I really like this kind of aesthetic look they have in this episode. And I guess I'm trying to figure out. And the character models didn't bother me as much as last episode. I feel like I think everyone was looked great, but also they were different from. That was another thing I think was like a major problem for last episode was they didn't took enough a risk of changing their looks and like Thanos look like Thanos, right? But then we have other characters like Evening Mob, Approximately Midnight, and the other two Black Hand members look kind of different from the ones in Infinity War and Endgame, and they look better than the live action one. I actually like their designs here. And what other aspect do you like about this episode that was a major improvement in this episode? I'm kind of curious to go into that.
There weren't any like voice actors that felt off in this one. Where I had a few in the last episode where I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did not have that feeling with any of the cast. Each one felt like their characters from the live action films. The one exception I would say for me was Howard the Duck. I don't know if you have this opinion. I feel like he was a little off. I mean, he barely spoke in these films too, right? But I was happy to see Howard the Duck. I would say.
It's always fun when he shows up.
Yeah, and I was excited to have him have like his own animation series from Kevin Smith, and we're not gonna get that. But hopefully we get one in this continuity, maybe. But we'll see.
Maybe one day.
Oh, you're gonna say something?
I just said maybe one day.
Yeah, one day. Yeah. And it was. I guess I'm gonna get to one of the things that made me so happy was just seeing more of the collector. I really love Mauricio del Toro as an actor, and I was so happy he got more to do as that character, and he felt right back as the character. And oh really? you like
the actor is not the problem I had with the character. It just felt like the writing for the collector felt off, and I didn't like the redesign that made him more like muscular. I don't know. Like part of what I like about the collector in the movies is that he's just like such a weirdo, and he's got these like over exaggerated like Liberace movements, like he's so like weird looking. And then this one, they just made him like this really buff dude with like a completely different personality. It was weird. I didn't.
That's true. Yeah, I guess I blame the running time here. I just wish we can get an explanation of why he got buff. I like
Or just like why he's different from the one that we've seen before.
yeah, but for me, they couldn't easily explain in one line easily from one of the characters. Say, look, not only he became the titan of the universe, besides instead of Thanos, right?
Mhm.
He went around and collect stuff, because we've seen him not only collect the alien stuff in the cosmic, right? We also see stuff from Earth, stuff from Captain America's shield and Thor's hammer. We see, right?
Mhm.
You can easily explain that the hammer somehow like gave him this body, and or like maybe one of these dark magic he discovered gave him this ability to be muscle up. I feel like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. It's weird that he got muscle up. I don't have a problem with that. I think I just accepted it because it's a what if thing, and it's different, and they completely own that. Like
Yeah,
for
like
this episode, But I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying that
I know that things are gonna be different. Every time they set up the show, it's like this one thing changed the course of the universe. So it's like, I don't think it would change it that much.
Yeah.
But it's
I guess I yeah, and I guess I will agree with you about the writing. I will say that I kind of wish Gunn maybe wrote some lines for the collector, because I felt like he had a very cool way to give the collector a very swag, like very menacing dialogue, like
Yeah,
very quirky, but I don't know.
I haven't liked the dialogue in either of these episodes.
Yeah.
And I'm really worried because the head writer for this is also the head writer for Miss Marvel, and now I'm really worried for Miss Marvel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't like this, and I want to like Miss Marvel.
I will give it that benefit of doubt. I'm gonna say that it's a different format.
I'm hoping that
Yeah.
it's different, but we'll see.
Yeah. Like I don't have to, I'm like not worried, but I think because there's a lot of constraints you have to do in animation that I don't think some writers feel comfortable, like they haven't done before. So like, excuse me, like this writer just like just I mean, it, I'm kind of surprised they did like a good job in my eyes of this episode with so much stuff that's going on. But I would say that like I think Marvel Studios need to realize to like give more briefing for these episodes. Yeah, and I guess I guess kind of picking back on the writing. I will say that um uh, the writing here was better than last time. I I like how like at least their dialogue meant something. Like I like the line where um T'Challa say, no, Vatcher is solo or whatever he say. Um
Ravager never flies solo. I think.
yes, flies solo. I like that. I like how that was mean something for his relationship with Yondu.
Mhm.
And like how that was like a bookend towards the end of the episode when they were trying to defeat the collector. I really like that.
Yeah, that's a good callback.
Yeah, and so I think this was very good. And just in general, I like the Thanos and Nebula relation. I really like that in this episode. I don't know. We didn't get too much of it, but I appreciate we went with that, and like we because that was something I want to see more of that in the movies, and I like that we did something with it in this episode.
Yeah, I didn't like the decision to have T'Challa somehow like convinced Thanos to not be a genocidal warlord. That didn't
Yeah,
seem
I
realistic, but I did like the like redemption storyline with like Thanos and his relationship with Nebula.
mhm. Yeah, I yeah, I like the Nebula part. Yeah, that part. I was like, how do you convince Thanos to be a Ravager and be a good person? Like,
Right. I so many of the plot points in this series, like in both episodes, it felt like they put a bunch of ideas on a wall and then we're like, all right, we're gonna work all of these into an episode.
yeah,
Like who cares if we can like reasonably explain how or why it's happening? We just need to put it in here.
yeah,
And I think Thanos being a Ravager was one of those.
yeah. Going too far, I would say. Um, I think that was my like core problem. Just seeing Thanos being like the good guy. I mean, there's potential there. I just
Yeah. And just they didn't seem like they gave enough of like an explanation, or they didn't like go into it enough for
yeah,
it to feel um like warranted
yeah,
or earned.
yeah. Or like be its own episode. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
I
that one.
like
It would take a lot to convince Thanos not
Thanos.
to do
Yeah,
that, and like T'Challa's like great and all, but I don't know if he alone would be able to do that.
no, yeah that part. Yeah, uh, I, I mean, I will say I'm impressed that they have all the major actors here. Like I was surprised to see like here James Josh Brolin, that's
Yeah.
his father, James Brolin, Josh here. And, you know that it was pretty cool to hear him in this episode. But I um yeah I feel like yeah I agree. I think that should have been like a another what if episode because it was interesting to see like Thanos to turn good and then see him have a better relationship with a one of his daughters and like and seeing the Black Hand be with someone else like um I am with you with that part though because that one was like okay like weird and like okay going too far with the message of like how good is T'Challa as a person and which I have no problem with. I love T'Challa as a character, but you
Like he is a really good person, and I really liked showing how him growing up with Yondu changed Yondu's character. Like I thought that
yeah
was done really well.
yeah I agree
But him changing Thanos was a step too far, or
yeah
several steps too far. But
it's the yeah
yeah,
I was kind of wondering like what he did to convince him to turn like did he kill like another society that maybe this is how you like genocide this one society that like actually deserve it like it'd be fun that we
what?
see
No, I don't know.
I just wonder how this character convinced the most insane and most evil person in the universe of Marvel to be good. It's just funny. Um, but yeah, um, I guess picking up. I guess I also love about this episode. Like another great thing about this was so different. It was like cosmic heist. I love that, and I like how we're comparing um T'Challa Star-Lord as a Robin Hood. I actually really like that idea and I like how they went to the first of this idea in this whole episode.
Mhm.
And because and I like how Yondu mistaken Robin Hood to Robin Leach. That's what he like saved
Mhm.
instead,
Yep.
which was funny. Um, oh my god, I really like that, and they show like how different he is from Star Lord from Peter Quill, like how he's like, I mean, I like Peter Quill, and like he's confident, but like he's overconfident and very much like has an ego, but like not like badly as his father in the Volume 2, right?
Yeah, no, hey, T'Challa's a much better person
Yeah,
than
and
Peter Quill,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. and Taserface, he's good. I'm happy that Taserface is good and he's here. And I guess I love how it's like I like how we're picking back not only volume 1 but also volume 2. I actually appreciate about that like we're not sticking to like one of the problems I didn't like about episode 1 was we were just sticking on the first episode of the first movie, first adventure. Here I like that we combine the movies of Guardians of the Galaxy, volume 1 and volume 2. And I really appreciate that because the themes of father and son is heavy in volume 2 because of ego and Peter, and then of course the family relationship, which is still here, but with with T'Challa instead, and I really appreciate that about this episode more than the first episode because they're like I kind of like how you always have that one family member that's like the goody two shoe, he's like the best and like everyone likes him, and I like how Chala is just like one family member that he's like the best and like he knows what he's doing, and I like how this episode present that, and I like I guess when I get into the almost this twist they did for this episode is Yondu told how you say it, T'Challa that Wakanda got destroyed, right?
Yeah.
And when T'Challa was trying to find the MacGuffin, because I'm calling it that because I don't know what's the
I think it's just called the orb.
The
so
orb.
MacGuffin's fine.
Yeah,
they call it the MacGuffin in the movie.
Yeah. You're right. And he was walking down to the trophies and the collector's building, and like his necklace started to glow, and we find out that a Wakanda ship was there, and you thought, oh, okay, collector probably got it out of Earth, but no, we discovered that his father is still alive, and it has been searching him, and it was kind of cool to see the ship that was there because it was searching for T'Challa in space, and like and honestly, he gets captured very quickly. And what you thought about that twist? You thought that was a very good twist, for this instant of the episode?
Yeah, I liked that his father was still alive and like searching for him, and I liked that T'Challa ultimately decided to go back to Wakanda at the end because he's, I think it's like embedded into his character that he feels that sense of like duty to his country. But I didn't like that Yondu like lied to him about Wakanda getting wiped out, and then they seemed to kind of just like breeze right past that for the rest of the episode. T'Challa just like very quickly forgave him, and then they were making jokes about it later. Like you got kidnapped when you were a kid, and your father figure lied to you the whole time, and not for like a noble reason. Like Yondu lied to Peter. It was like purely selfish. No acknowledgement of that.
Well, I would disagree that because it was something interesting about T'Challa versus Peter. Peter was very scared. Pardon my French. Scared shit of what was happening, right?
Yeah.
With T'Challa, it was interesting because he wasn't weirded out about anything about the cosmic stuff. Like when he was like getting it, because like because he's Wakanda, like Wakanda is totally different from the real stuff, right? And and I think this is where I will disagree. This was very consistent of Yondu because
no, I okay.
Oh really? Okay, well,
no.
Go ahead.
He couldn't take Peter back because Peter's mom was dead, and then if he and like Ego could find him, and then Ego would probably kill him.
Yeah.
He could take T'Challa back, and when T'Challa expressed interest in going back, he was like, "Oh no, your family's gone." Like he lied to him.
Yeah,
There
but
was no like
yeah,
ethical reason for him to not take T'Challa home at any point. It was purely like, I like having you as a son. I want to keep you.
I mean that's the reason why he lied. I feel like
No, that's not a good thing though. Like you
like I agree with you. Ethically, not, but I don't know. Like
I'm fine with him like having that like making that unethical decision. I just want
Mhm.
T'Challa to like be mad about it then, you know?
He did. I mean, he did.
Not really.
I mean, it
There
was
was like
very
one
quick.
line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
I,
if you
I
found out that you had been lied to, that your family was dead your whole life, you'd be a little angrier than that.
yeah, uh, yeah.
Uh, it,
I, it's very difficult. Like, and again, the like if we have more time to discuss it, I will say it was handled better. But then I have to agree with you that it like the child did discuss it, but it was just like a brief thing, and it's the fault of the pacing. So I
yeah, no,
understand what you're saying.
it's a problem with the writing.
Yeah.
It's
Um, I'm trying to figure out like why did he keep Peter alive as well? I mean, like here I understand with T'Challa because he was more fascinating, where Peter was just
yeah, I don't get why he didn't go back for like presumably Ego still hired him to get Peter, so he should have sent someone to go get Peter too,
yeah.
but
But
he
then
didn't.
yeah,
They're
but
just like, oops, we got the wrong kid. Oh well.
yeah, yeah. I'm curious about that. And well, and I don't want to divulge on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I always question about Eagle's like plan and like why he didn't pick up Peter himself, and like I get why he didn't want to go back to Earth, but like I don't know, his whole plan from that movie is kind of convoluted. Like it's kind of like it's easily dissect, like you can easily pick out the plot points, you know. So, but yeah, I don't I understand, but I think ethically I understand more what Yondu did with T'Challa than Peter because he was getting paid. And then also I have a question. Now think about it. Does Yondu know that the kids were getting killed by Eagle? That's another thing. I that
He wouldn't in this universe because he,
yeah,
or maybe he,
like he knew
no,
it was
because
just
he must have figured
right.
it out.
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember. The reason he didn't deliver Peter was because he found that out, but I'm trying to remember if he found that out after he got Peter or before he picked up Peter.
Yeah, because I saw conveniently I saw Guardians Founding 2 this week.
Okay.
And I'm trying like I guess he found it afterwards because of Stallone character and like his old team that he was with.
Yeah.
And so like he was banished from that. So I I'm just yeah, we never get too much information about all that. So I had to disbelieve a lot of things about Eagle's plans and just Yandu's reason to keep you know this one person alive, you know. I guess I guess kind of going to another character that we both like is Nebula. And I would say I like I agree with you. The chemistry with um Chadwick and Gillian were very amazing. One of the best I think um pair we've seen in the MCU so far. You know, and I really like that they did the Mission Impossible thing. Like you thought the Nebula betrayed them, but in reality, it was T'Challa was the one that the collector wanted, and I like how it was just this big Mission Impossible plan of like, okay, we're gonna go in, get this MacGuffin, and we're gonna just let the collector, capture you, and but at the same time, you know, ambush him same time.
Yeah.
So I like that whole thing. You know. So what do you think about that, Will?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes me want them to do like a cosmic heist now. Or
Yeah,
like,
I think that'd be really fun.
yeah, because this one
Um,
made me like, oh my god, imagine this as the Ant-Man and cosmic heist
right.
kind of scenario.
It'd be fun if they could get. Man, I would love after the Guardians movies to have like a Rocket Raccoon heist movie.
Yes, I agree. Oh my god. Or like a Nova movie. Like you could change him up and be
Mm.
more like a heist kind of film, you know? Yeah, that'd be kind of amazing. And I guess I want to kind of into the final fight when the collector used some of the other objects. And it was very cool to see him use Hela's helmet. That was kind of
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
And that was a cool way to, use the other model stuff that we've seen. And like, that was pretty cool.
Mm.
And I actually like his defeat. And like towards the end, it was like reminiscent of the Thor Ragnarok post credit scene of the Grandmaster, where
Mhm.
like his
Yeah.
whole like people started to do the was it the rise up strike thing against
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and here it was the same, but far like I think far worse than Grandmaster because I love Jeff Goldblum just saying, "Oh, you did a good job of this uprising, and you should be proud."
Yeah. Oh, I love Jeff Goldblum.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh, I'm surprised they didn't put Jeff Goldblum in this episode. Um
Yeah, have they acknowledged that those characters are related in the movies yet?
no. That's the weird thing about it. Like
Yeah,
I
and I guess they killed the collector, didn't they?
in
In
Infinity War,
Infinity War.
yeah, I guess.
Well, I guess he didn't actually die on screen, so maybe not.
Yeah, I hope not, because I do want to see those two together.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
man.
for like
Jeff Goldblum would have so much fun with that.
yes. Yes. I want that so badly. Yeah, but they don't like it's kind of weird. Like we know that, but it's weird when they bring these characters into the big screen. They never address their backgrounds,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I get for time, right? But like, I mean, but you can easily drop it easily, you know? I don't understand it.
yeah. I don't know. I hope in like future installments they kind of delve into those characters more because I think they're really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like that's the weird thing about the MCU. I get you're adapting these comics, but like, and change them for the movie, right? But also, sometimes it's kind of weird when they adapt these characters. They never, right away, put their backgrounds in the film. You know, like the collector. You know, he's a century old being,
Mhm.
and we do that again with the Grandmaster, right? But we never address the relation of it, and I mean, we kind of did that with like it's not confirmed, but like Grandmaster is in the credits in Volume 2. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but that's such a weird way to address that. In the
Yeah, it's
credits.
just a fun little nod for
I
comic
guess so.
fans, I think. But
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and then I like so like we're at towards the end of the episode, right? And we got Cosmo. That's good. Cosmo's alive.
yeah,
Yeah,
we did see him in the first Guardians.
Guardians. Yeah.
He still didn't talk, which was disappointing. But
Yeah, I know. Oh my god. I want him to talk. I just
Me
want a
too.
British actor to play him.
I thought he had a Russian voice.
Oh yes, yes. I never mind. He should be Russian. Russian
Yeah.
dog. Oh my god. Yeah. So it was cool, it was cool to see T'Challa go back to Wakanda and bring everyone in Wakanda. And it was kind of interesting seeing um like the Guardians, the Ravagers talking to the Wakandans. Like wait, I love the bit part of Thanos talking to Okoye. I think that was or was that another
I don't know, I wasn't
like
paying attention to who he was talking to. It might have been Okoye.
yeah. Well, I want to keep in mind, folks, that some of their character designs were different. So
Right.
like I'm not trying. I'm blanking out. The mom didn't have her white hair like in the movie Black Panther. Um,
Doesn't she have like a white like dress?
yes, she had a white dress. Yeah.
No,
But yeah, it, it was something. But anyway, I guess I want to talk about aesthetics. And cool references. Let's kind of want to discuss that because something cool about another reason I like about this episode was the subtle touches and things that were different from Star Lord Chala from Peter Quill were amazing. I didn't notice this, but the ship name for T'Challa's Star Lord was Mandela.
okay, because I saw that the ship had a name that started with an M, and I was like, "There's no way that they like included that detail and didn't think to change it from Milano." So Mandela's
Yes.
great. I love that.
Yes, it was, and honestly, folks, I want to stress this for the folks that listen to this podcast. If anyone knows what Mandela is about, it's both a very thematic, like thematically connected to the show, but also to a actual person. Of course, Mandela, the South African president of, unfortunately passed away.
Nelson
As the
Mandela. Yeah.
you say it will. Sorry.
Nelson Mandela.
Yeah, and that was a cool touch of showing that that's probably one of the people that T'Challa looked up to. That was very cool. Obviously, if you look at the suit that and oh sorry, piggyback the Mandela thing, it's also a little cool Easter egg. Also, the Mandela effect about these butterfly effects of time or stuff like that, and that's the main topic we have in What If, about the multiple, the multiverse and all the different realities we're going through. So it was kind of cool that they used the Mandela for both a cool character insight of T'Challa, but also the overall theme about what if the show, so that was very cool. And then T'Challa, his character design, his like whole look is similar to Star Lord, but it's different. Like he had the colors of the Black Panther, of the purple and gold, and that was very cool. And the helmet, his base helmet he wears in every time he goes out of space, his eyes are different. Instead of red, are purple. And that was a cool touch of it. And also the ship color design, totally different. It's also the same as he's wearing, the purple and gold. So that was very cool. A little nod for that. And I'm trying to think out what other one that was kind of like, and of course, his line, like an ordinary junker, as Pierre said before, he did it here. And then, and the bowing. That was another thing that I forgot to mention in the beginning of Korvac. He wanted to bow, and like T'Challa say, we don't, like, I don't do that, or like we don't do that here. And I like how that was a reference to when Banner did that in Infinity War. So that was very cool. And and then what else? Oh, and then there was like a big reference to Yondu missing a teeth. I don't think so. That was like a little different touch that he had teeth here, but like he had like no missing teeth like the one in the live action show. So and then what else that I was kind of cool to see. We have a mention of the scrolls here. That was another cool Easter egg I heard. I don't know who mentioned. Yondu jokes about how he say never hurts to hurt a squirrel. So that's cool to hear. Seeing the squirrel being more mentioned in the MCU now, after Captain Marvel. I also like Drax in this episode. He had a little cameo here, just him taking pictures of Star-Lord and seeing he has his family still, which is kind of interesting. Where's Rowan the accuser? Excuse me, like where's Rowan in this? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Drax said that T'Challa had like stopped the invasion that it, in the MCU killed Drax's family. So
oh wow,
I don't know if T'Challa like stopped Ronan earlier or what.
early,
But
yeah. Because I was thinking about it, instead of the collector, I like the collector and stuff. So, but like, I think having Ronan as the main villain for this episode made more sense. I feel like, so it's kind of interesting they didn't use him in this episode, but I kind of happy they didn't do that because it couldn't have gone too far. Just okay, we're really recycling the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, you could say that as well with Collector, but like he was just a minor one, really. I just I don't know. Okay. What else? Oh, I like the gag about adopted. Um, of Nebula and Thanos. I,
Mhm.
I like that. That was like the same thing with Thor and Loki.
Mhm.
So that was really cool. And yeah, and then I think that's it. Some obvious references from like everything from the collectors, like the Frost Giants and Dark Elves. Um, the ships. I don't know if did you check? Did you caught the one with the X-wing?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, there was a X-wing in that scene, so that was a very cool one. And I saw like one ship that was from the CERT, one of the Grandmaster ships.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was there as well. And like a Nebula, a Sandar, Neville Corp ship was there as well. So very cool stuff. And I think that's it. Oh, and I guess another thing, Korg. We gotta mention Korg's like species. He's dead apparently. Um, in this reality. Uh, okay. Kind of sad because maybe that'd be kind of cool to see Korg reacting to Chala and be funny with him. But okay. What else? Oh, um, I also wanted to also appreciate was the music in this episode. I I don't think we talked about music from last episode. It was kind of like genetic, right? Like
Yeah, it did a good job of matching the score from the first movie, I think, but it wasn't as good. But
yeah,
in this one, I really liked the mix of the like cosmic stuff with the Wakandan like drums.
yes.
Yeah.
I oh my god, I love that. When I heard the Wakanda theme and sprinkle in the episode, I was like, yes, thank you so much, because I love that theme and it won an Oscar. So oh my god, I was so happy about that. And oh my god, that was so good. And I think the music here was really good and amazing. Um, and I think okay, I'm looking at yeah, her the mom's is wearing that big cap she wore in Black Panther, the white cap hat. So I don't see her hair. So um, oh, we also see her sister as well. She's there. So I'm kind of curious about uh, there's mention of like jump points, and I guess kind of getting to towards the end of the episode, the post credit scene, or can we call it the post credit scene? Well, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I guess the cliffhanger We see Peter working the DQ Grill and Chili restaurant that we saw in Guardian of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yep.
And Eagle came and talked to Peter, and that was very interesting to see. And and this is where I mentioned that I think they're building up a multiverse storyline in this series, and so I'm kind of curious when we're going to pick that out. And what was your thought about that scene, Will?
Yeah, I guess I was just curious about like what they were planning. So I guess we'll see if that's going to pay off like later in this season, if they'll start to like come together, or if they're just setting up a potential sequel for the next series.
Yeah, I hope so, because I'm actually I'd be excited to see Eagle versus the Cosmic Avengers, and I think that'd be like a instead of using Loki, Eagle, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess to like wrap things up, Will. Overall, what do you thought about this episode? I know so far this episode didn't yet convince you about the show, right? That's
Right.
pretty accurate. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
it was a step up from the previous episode, but I'm still not feeling the show.
I understand. I will say one thing about this. We have more to talk about than that first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from, Will. I will say, despite me liking this episode, it did not convince me about the show as well. I'm just a little more like how do I say it? Like I'm comfortable with the show now, but like I'm not like it's not my favorite thing right now as a watching the show,
Yeah.
Yeah. And but I think this was a major step up. And honestly, if you see this episode compared to this episode, this episode was much more a big deal because Chadwick, is not with us anymore. So it was kind of like a big deal to hear this. And I feel like it was an emotional episode. I would say just hearing him again. And just knowing he's not with us anymore. But I think this episode did a good job of honoring him as an actor. It had full of energy and creativity. That's the thing I like about this episode. It was very creative, in my opinion. I will say it didn't took not enough risks in terms of what if, but it did enough for me to enjoy it, So I highly recommend watching this episode instead of the first episode. I don't think the first episode will give you the right impression of what is a what if, And I guess to sign off, the next episode, you think the next episode is going to be Doctor Strange? Because I'm
I think I saw something about Doctor Strange and Thor for the next one.
Okay. So if that comes true, I'm very curious about that one. I'm excited to see the Doctor Strange again, because it's been too a while since like Infinity War. Because I mean, in the Endgame came back towards the end. I want to see more Doctor Strange in this universe.
I mean, we're gonna see him next spring too. So.
Oh yeah.
Right. It's spring, I think.
Yes, yeah, in March.
Multiverse of Madness? Yeah, March.
Yeah, in March. Same off as the Batman. Not because
wow.
yeah, it's coming out 3 weeks afterwards. I think the Batman is coming first before that. But also we're gonna see Juan soon and Shang-Chi. So I'm kind of curious what role he has. It could be a cameo, but we'll see. But yeah. So, anything else we want to discuss? Well, did we cover everything from this episode?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening to this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this very hourly long podcast. I think this episode was fun. And, of course, rest in peace, our wonderful king of Wakanda, Chadwick Boseman. So, guys, just me and will be back for next Sunday for the episode 3 of What If. And so far, thank you guys. Click that subscribe button and see you guys later.